One. What is up, YouTube? HCJ here. It's been a while, but I'm back here again, and we're here with the Harpies. Yes, it is time for another Harpie deck profile, and actually a good one to start off the month of July. So I have been MIA for a minute. That's going to be discussed in another video, so I can explain all that's going on. But yeah, I'm back. I'm making videos, and I'm sure many of you are very excited to see what I've been cooking with the Harpies. Especially because this is a Rush Duel variant of Harpies. Harpies have just gotten their massive amount of support in Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel via Godwing's Breath, and I'm sure many of you are very excited um, to see more decks being built for Rush Duel, the Harpie cards in mind. Um, like I said, this is still one that's, my Harpie decks are always being, you know, here and there with everything because I want to make sure, I always want to give you guys a deck profile for something. It's nice to have some type of, something you can bounce things off. So yeah, I've done enough talking. While we go ahead and we take a look at the Harpie deck. So, 3 copies of Harpie Lady, 3 copies of Harpie Lady L, middle, 2 copies of Harpie Lady L, and 2 copies of Harpie Lady R, 3 copies of Harpie Lady 1, 2 copies of Harpie Lady 2, 1 copy of Harpie Lady 3, 2 copies of Harpie Regina, 2 copies of Harpie Carla, and then 2 copies of Trick Pigeon with 1 copy of Ryza, the Storm. For my spells, 2 copies of Elegant Egotist, 2 copies of Triangle Ecstasy Spark, 2 copies of Harpie's Full Dress, 2 copies of Avian Spell Strategy, 2 copies of The Wind Blowing Through, 1 copy of Magical Stone Excavation, 1 copy of Graceful Charity. For the track cards, 2 copies of Boku Hearted Pigeon, 2 copies of Harpie's Feather Storm, Harpie's Feather Tempest, and then 1 copy of Icarus Attack. And that is it for the deck. The Harpies don't have any extra deck monsters, and I'm not incorporating any other archetypes and stuff that do have extra, mainly fusion. So yeah, that's my lineup for the deck itself. And then some notable cards are Harpie's Pet Dragon, against Buster, Mountain, Mirror Forest, and some of the extra copies. Oh, and I also forgot Music Princess's Prelude. So, with that said, why don't we go ahead and go into this deck? So, triple copies of Harpie Lady. Yeah, there are a lot of effects of cards that have an additional effect if you have a normal monster. And because of how Rush Duel works with Harpie Lady, how she can still exist in the deck, and Harpie Ladies 1, 2, and 3 also can still exist in the deck. It's probably one of the most bittersweet moments for any Harpie player because for the longest time, that's what we wanted in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where we were able to run the multiple variants of Harpie Lady without being restricted by the maximum of 3. Which, luckily enough, that only applies to monsters of that particular name. And they had a massive workaround with this because I've explained this in multiple videos. That the biggest workaround now is that Harpie Ladies 1, 2, and 3 can exist in the deck because they're technically not Harpie Lady in the deck. They're only Harpie Lady while in the field or in the graveyard. And because of that, it's similar to how Harpie Channeler, Harpie Dancer, Harpie Queen, and them can all exist in the deck without having that restriction of, because this monster's name is always Harpie Lady, that becomes an issue. But these all can now exist in the deck because they only are Harpie Lady when they're on the field, and then through effects they can become Harpie Lady in their Harpie Ladies in their Harpie Lady in the graveyard. Yeah, that is definitely a big bonus. With that in mind, and of course all the changes that have happened to a lot of the big support cards for the Harpies, I'm definitely okay with this ratio because there are a lot of things that go through it. While the normal Harpie Lady is here for the additional effects that she can support and that resolve when there is a normal monster on the board. Harpie Lady 1 just gives the additional 300 attack. You win monsters. What else does there need to be said? Just a good beat. A good way to make monsters beat sticks. Harpie Lady number 2, she's here because of the fact that when she attacks, your opponent's monsters Your opponent's trap cards cannot be activated when she attacks. So she has like an ancient gear effect. And then Harpie Lady 3. There's only one of her in my build because I don't really see the promise of there needing to stop a monster from attacking that's level 8 or lower to the end of your opponent's turn, because of the fact that there are a lot of the mechanics in the game that they're like, oh, well, this is a nice thing, but what if my opponent decides to, oh, I can use or I can just tribute and not have to deal with the mechanics, deal with your monster's effect. I can get over it by simply just having a new monster come to the board because of how the game effects resolve and anything. She's probably mostly here to just stall out the little monsters or the decks that just want to do Beanie Rush and just want to poke in for them. But at least one thing about Harpie Lady 2 and 3 that I love about both of these monsters is that they have the ability to send the top card of your deck to the graveyard to become Harpie Lady and gain their additional effect. That is honestly a really good thing for this deck because of how cards like Elegance work, where you can special summon your Harpie Lady or Harpie Ladies from your graveyard to the board. You can't declare an attack on an attacking monster with 1200 attack or less, but also remember, there are monsters defense, so you can easily get over those monsters. And of course, there's a ton of things you can easily do to pierce through with defenses, like using Harpie Lady, like using Harpies for dress, and put to your monster, and then just hit your opponent with monsters, things like that. So yeah, that's like I said. There's the reason why she's only a one of. If that was ever the case, she'd probably be bumped out, or maybe put in a side deck just as a utility for a game 2 or 3 situation. Where I feel like Harpie Lady 2 is just very beneficial because of the fact that she's going to be attacking. My opponent's trap cards can be activated while she's attacking. Kind of funny enough, because now we can talk about the big ones too, in which Harpie Lady's L, it can't be destroyed by your opponent's trap card effect. The fact that that's just another way to override trap situation makes it great there. I really don't care too much about the maximum summon situation. That's not really something to care about. But might be good if you're playing a mirror match. You can probably run in another extra Harpie Lady 3 if you're playing a mirror match against your opponent, and you can style out your opponent from playing Harpie Ladies. Just hope that they don't tribute summon for more Harpie Ladies. Which is kind of the reason why I said this card can be a problem. But moving on from that, yeah, now we're going to talk about our big Harpies, the Harpie Ladies. Harpie Ladies 3, I definitely wanted to kick 3 of because she recycles your Wingy Beast monsters, putting them back into the deck. Then you're able to select a monster you have on the field to give it additional 500. With all the plethora of cards in this archetype, and just in the deck right now, they're giving monsters so much attack points. You're just ramming your monsters over your opponent's monsters. And it's just a whole old school style of beatdown. And it's so weird that that's a strategy Harpies can easily exploit. But exploit it, because it's good. Because why? Harpies have one thing, and that's one thing no matter what we see them in terms of GTO, is the swarm. And how beneficial a swarm can be. And how many cards Harpies have access to do. And that's why I did keep Harpie Lady's middle, because that's what I'm referring to her as middle, in play, because there's just so much of her that is beneficial to. Not to mention when she's maximum summoned, she'll become a 3400 attacker. Then on top of that, she will inflict 500 points of damage when she does do her ability to return the 2 Wingy Beast monsters in your graveyard back into your deck to give the additional 500 to a monster you have in the field. I've already talked enough about Harpie Lady 2, but I didn't want to run a triple of it because I feel like, this is something that's just going to be an extension of Harpie Lady 2 going into Harpie Ladies. And I mean, look, you have her on the field. I mean, at that point, let me swing it for 2100 or additional into her 2100 plus being unaffected, being able to not be destroyed by a trap card. Then Harpie Ladies 3, she's just here. Harpie Ladies L, sorry, I keep saying Harpie Ladies 3, but I mean, you get the reference. But yeah, Harpie Ladies Harpie Ladies are the multi-attacker for your opponent at your opponent's monster. Combine her with Harpie's full dress, the amount of effects that'll give her the additional attack, and she's going to be, doing a lot of piercing battle damage. And, that is a benefit to anything. And sad though, because I thought Harpie Lady 3 would kind of be similar to that, but unfortunately it didn't happen. Yeah, just like I said, L and R are just the ones that I want to run the two of, and then the massive 3 of for Harpie Lady because she can recycle and then give the additional power. Harpie Regina and Harpie Carla. Sadly, these are just two ofs. Probably even one of. While Regina does more sufficiently than Carla, it's simply just because of the fact that you have the ability to, if you control another winged beast, when a winged beast monster, you can send a card from your hand to the grave to draw a card. And if you have a normal monster on the field, you can add a Harpie Lady or Harpie Ladies from your graveyard to your hand. So you can ditch a Harpie Lady or Harpie Ladies, draw an additional card, um, draw a card, and then just return them back to the hand. That way you're not losing out on too much, and you can distribute. And then put the Harpie Ladies on the field, or just summon another Harpie Lady and go from there. It's just more so hand correction. Harpie Carla, she's just here to pick up your Harpie's full dress, and then just be easy tribute. That's literally as much as she's possibly able to do. A body on the board for a tribute, and then have give Harpies their access to their full dress. And then I'm sorry, we have two more monsters, which is simply just the combination plays of Trick Bird, which is to get your winged beast monsters that have 1500 or more attack from your graveyard to your hand, and then Ryza being able to send cards on the field back to the top of the deck. There is a reason why this monster is legend, simply because this thing would be way too broken if there was with the ways to recycle monsters in this game. Like literally, you could just tribute Ryza, tribute other monsters on the field to summon another Ryza, return the Ryza, and then have a whole bunch of draw power behind you just cycle through the Ryza. And then we'd have a whole another perfect circle situation. And I think Konami was like, yeah, let's stop this before we can. Because I know Ryza is one of the monarchs that's a legend. I don't know if the other ones are legend, but I'm going to assume they are. Between Thestalos and the Borg, I think, are still in the game, and I want to say Mobius. So yeah, no, that was a smart idea to make them all legend. And there just be too many ways to recycle and abuse their normal summons and the mechanics of this game to do all the. And then Pigeon Bird here is just able to recycle all your big with ease. And then just tribute him off for the fodder. Alright, moving on into the spells. The Elegant Egotist. Basically, Swarm. That's literally it. Swarm. And even though you can't declare an attack on monsters with 2000 or less attack, defensive monsters are still an option, and that leads into full dress when I get ready to talk about that. But yeah, Elegant Egotist's reversal summon is just, summoning from the graveyard. And like I said, when you have effects like Harpie Lady 2 and 3, being able to set up your graveyard, Carla to set up the graveyard, yeah, you're going to. But it wasn't something I definitely needed 3 of, and I'm still testing that out, so there could potential return of 3 Harpie of Elegant Egotist. And you can, just pop off from there. Triangle XCC Spark. Similar situation. It's just that you have to have the Harpie Ladies on the field in order for you to give your 3 win monsters the additional 600. And then being your opponent unable to activate the trap card. It's another way to just stall out, beef up your monsters, and then swing in for the damage. Harpie's Full Dress. Very amazing equipped spell. Give your Harpies 800 additional attack or hits. And if you have one of your one or 3 of your face-up monsters on the board that is equipped with this card, yeah, they can start doing piercing battle damage, which means even your opponent's monster in defense will be secluded to being destroyed and then taking damage from them being gone. This is something that I like to combine with Harpie Ladies 3, because you can equip her with Harpie's Full Dress, giving her the 800 additional attack. Harpie Ladies, giving her the additional 600, no, 500 attack. So that's 813 plus the 600 from this. That's literally, that's it, 6, 8, 14, 14 plus 5, 1900. 1900, that's 4K. And a 4K attacking monster that can attack multiple times through a maximum summon. That's a ton of damage that can easily. That's why I'm definitely running this and I'm combining it with Carlos. And even so, I have Magical Stone Excavation to help me recycle it back if I need to, in case I don't get to Carlos as soon as possible. I have some spell and trap removal, because, yeah, there isn't any in terms of Harpie Sunny Ground being in the game. But, yeah, we do have Avian Spell Strategy to help you get rid of back row. We control 2 or more face-up winged beasts and or warrior monsters. You're able to destroy a spell or trap card in the field, and if you do destroy a spell or trap card by the effect, you place one of your level 8 or lower wind monsters on top of you. Wingy beast type monsters on top of your deck. Which is great because it's, like I said, more recycle and more utility of things as well. You have the wind that blows through, draw power, and then even more draw power if you control wind monsters on the field that have 800 or more. Then, even discard fodder to cards from you. And that sets up your graveyard for cards like, well, Elegant Egotus. Magical Stone Excavation, another setup card for the deck. Discarding 2 cards to add a spell card back from your graveyard to your hand, so you can get all of your cards back, then use them again and again to help survive with. And just filling up your graveyard as well. Graceful Charity. I mean, there's enough to say too. More draw power, more hand correction, more graveyard set. That if there's a reason why this card is legend, because it's just too broken. And when you look at how they had to hit Magic Stone Excavation, because it's another similar card that does a lot of hand correction, getting back power spells, you know, that is a thing that has to happen. Oh man, OG Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I remember when they had a limit on Magic Stone Excavation for that exact. Going into the trap cards, we have a bit of the little guys here. Harpie's Full Tempest is just destruction of a normal monster, and then Book of Moon. You know, it's okay. It's nothing too game breaking. It's nothing too, chaotic. But yeah, it's able to send your Harpie back into the deck when your opponent normal summons, and then just destroy that monster, and then Book of Moon another if you have a normal monster. Why I'm running the Harpie ladies for that additional effect. Because there are some big things you can Book of Moon, and then, your opponent really can't do much to it. Especially if you hit a monster that special summon that. That's going to be even more of a downside to it. And then this is just more battle correction as well, and then the additional 500 you can opponent with the Boku Hearted Pigeon. And then Icarus Attack, because I like destroying things, and there's nothing wrong with that. And yeah, another legend card, because yeah, multiple Icarus attacks is board wipe. Just pop everything your opponent has. And then get rid of the threats, the problems, and things that you think could be easy to be a threat. With that said, let's talk about the cards in the extra deck. While most of them are just multiple copies, there are some suggestions. You have Harpies type Dragon. With how this game works instead of the tributes, yeah, Dragon can just be a big old beat stick that you have on the board, and be a massive beat stick with all the additional things, all the additional attack power that it'll be. 300 from the Harpie ladies, 900 from the Harpie lady, yeah, not 300 from Harpie lady monsters, 900 from the Harpie ladies, then the additional boost from Harpie ladies Triangle X Spark, Harpie lady 1. Yeah, the Harpie type Dragon would just be a giant beat. That's kind of why I didn't want to run it, because it's like one of those things where, yeah, I got enough monsters that can be weak sticks. I don't need the additional for that. And I know there are a lot of things to correct the hand if it ever does come to the hand. But yeah, it's just one of those, like, it's an option if you want to run. Against Buster, I heard this card is very meh. Especially if you have to give a 500 attack off of one of your wind monsters with 2,000 or more. Just simply destroy a spell or try card in the field. Have a lot of other cards to do that, or even in that case, force your opponent to not be able to activate. So that is the thing if you want to. You have a Cyber Dragon S card here with Music Princess's Prelude. If you want to just get out your big wind monsters, go right ahead. You can easily do that. Additional, draw power off of draw and hand correction with the wind that blows through. Mountain, if you want the additional attack power. I don't know if that's anything needed, but fill spells are always, welcome. Mirror Force, if you want to swap out for Icarus attacking, you want to just, massively board. And it's additional Harpie cards if you want to throw them in. You can also say that for additional Reginas and additional Carlas, the other Harpie. But with that said, that is it for my Harpie deck profile for the Rush Duel series. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope this helps inspire your builds for Rush Duel. With that said, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel as it helps out tremendously. Hit the notification bell so you guys will be informed of when I upload more content to the channel. Social media links are in the description box below, and you can catch me live on Twitch at twitch.tv/HarpiePlayerJoe. With that said, thanks everyone for watching. HPJ signing out. Here.